Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the campus of Sanborn Regional High School, where tonight, Division I girls semifinal basketball action. Jason Roby along with Tom King. We're going to be simulcasting on The Highlight Guy and Nashua ETV. Our executive producers are Pete Johnson and Tom. I got to tell you, this is a game that I don't know what we're going to see. These two teams have played twice already this year. BG won the first game at their place 80-26. They play a few nights later, and it's a 53-36 BG win. A tale of two games. Even though BG comes out on top, definitely a different feel.
I'll tell you the difference in those two games, and I didn't see either one of them, but knowing what I've seen from BG and knowing what I've seen in past from Londonderry, which looks like a small team, guard-oriented, Londonderry made use of a bigger floor. I've been in that gym, okay? BG makes use of the small Caligadome floor with the press, the turnovers, the transition game. That's going to be a harder thing to do tonight. If you can see the floor and the size of it, it's a pretty big. We're in a new building, which is, fairly new building.
About 15 years old.
Yeah.
About 15 years old this court.
And this feels like it's a D3 gym.
Right.
College gym. And, it's got a big floor and room to roam for Londonderry. So BG is going to have to use its depth and its athleticism to have the press work.
Londonderry coming off of an impressive win against an upstart Wyndham team that kind of surprised me. The game was a 39-35 defensive struggle, and I just spoke to head coach Nick Theos over at Londonderry, and he said that really was the difference, their ability to defend well on the defensive side of things, because a lot of nights 39 points isn't going to get you done, and we know 39 points will not get it done tonight against this Guertin team. But you have to be pleased if you're Coach Nick Theos in the way that his girls played defensively against Wyndham.
Well, you have to be, but playing defensively against Wyndham is a whole different deal than playing defensively against Bishop Guertin. And I'm looking out there. I didn't realize, I thought BG was in the black jerseys, black warm-ups. And I looked out, I go, wow, Londonderry looks pretty tall and athletic. This is going to be a tough game. But now I'm looking at Guertin. Guertin looks like a small college team. They really do. I mean, look at the size. And it's just going to be a situation where I think Londonderry is going to have a lot of difficulty on the boards and with Guertin's length defensively.
Bishop Guertin defeated Nashua North, Tom, in the other side of the quarterfinal action and last Sunday. And talking to the North coaching staff, they all had the same thing to say, and that is if you do not have guards that can dribble well in a smaller confines of a game like of a gym like the Caligadome, you're going to have all kinds of problems. This gym a little bit bigger than the Caligadome.
Oh, it's much bigger.
Yeah. So
it has that aura because there's so much room on the sideline.
Right.
At least one of the sides, because the bleachers aren't pulled out, that it's got a little bit more space. John Bourgeois from Nashua South had the same issue.
Right.
They played very well at South, against Guertin in beating that pressure. Once they got to the Caligadome, all of a sudden they were down 15-2 in the first quarter, and it was lights out. Nashua North played well with Victoria Conrad and her size.
Right.
All right, in that first quarter against BG, but once Conrad left the game, 28-2 second quarter.
And speaking of size, Tom, you hate to look ahead, but we just had an opportunity to watch Bedford defeat Portsmouth in the first semifinal, and that is a very tall, athletic Bedford team, a team that, by the way, was up on this Bishop Guertin team by 21 points twice.
We
BG
saw that.
ended up coming
we
from
were
behind.
both at that game.
Yeah.
And, I have to say it, Bedford, in my mind, is still almost an odds-on favorite because of the way they played in that first half.
Right.
The thing is for BG, now BG is probably a lot better now than they were that day, but maybe so is Bedford.
Bedford was able to get BG into some foul trouble. Megan Stack, Kaylee McDonald had to head to the bench early in that one, which had a huge factor.
Simple reason why. 2 fouls and a half.
You're done.
You sit. That's the rule with BG, and they're going to do it. They don't vary from it at all, and they won't vary from it if they make the final.
Speaking of the which, Tom, that during that game we learned that Dara Ochang and Maisie Barker, two young ladies that get significant time for this Bishop Guertin team, were injured and out, so that could play a factor if there is to be a second meeting. But we got to get through this one first, ladies and gentlemen. We're just about ready to get the starting lineups. He is Tom King. I'm Jason Roby on the highlight guy with Steve and Deb Cody and Nashua ETV. Tim O'Neill on the moving pictures in the first half. The executive producer for ETV is Pete Johnson.
It's a joint venture. Does that mean we get double pay?
Double pay, Tom.
That's what I thought.
How do you double zero?
Yep,
all right, very good.
That's the way to do it. Yep.
So we got a great game, and if BG should win, we'll be back here on Sunday evening to catch the finals in a rematch that everybody's been waiting for. But we got to get the business here first. So we'll introduce the starting lineups and get ready for in-game action in just a minute.
For Londonderry, number 5, a guard and a senior, Kylie McGurn.
Number 5, Kylie McGurn for Londonderry. Meeting at half court. Number 1, Brooke Paquette. Kind of a good sportsmanship, imaginary fist bump at half court. Number 13 is Jordan Furlong, 5'8" sophomore guard for the Lancers. Number 11, Olivia Murray, a 5'8" sophomore guard for Bishop Guertin. Number 14, Ashley York, 5'9" senior guard for Londonderry. Number 15, for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals is Megan Stack, a 6-foot sophomore forward. Ashley Schmidt, number 15 for the Lancers, a 5'5" senior guard. Number 24, Kaylee McDonald, a 5'8" sophomore guard for the Cardinals. A lot of sophomores out there, fans. Number 21 is Olivia Chow, a 5'8" junior guard. And rounding it out for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals is number 30, Caitlin Wheeler, a 5'10" sophomore forward. Brad Craig is the head coach for Bishop Guertin, and Nick Theos is the head coach for Londonderry, and we'll take this break for the national anthem.
The national anthem this evening will be performed by Sanborn freshman Allie Violet.
Wonderful rendition of the national anthem there. That young lady actually was taking tickets at the front door when I first got here, checking temperatures of folks as they walked in, and then came in, pulled some double and triple duty by singing the national anthem. So did not catch her name, but a terrific job there. We are just about underway here on the campus of Sanborn Regional High School in the town of Kingston, New Hampshire. Sanborn nice enough to offer up their gymnasium for the girls' side of the tournament, semifinal and final rounds, while the boys playing their semi and final rounds at Oyster River High School over in Durham. Bishop Guertin, of course, winning their semifinal matchup, and they'll be in the finals on Saturday afternoon. Winner here will get to play Bedford High School back here on Sunday afternoon. Time to be determined. And it appears that when you don't have a jump ball, sometimes it's hard to know which way the teams are going. So Londonderry will be going right to left on your TV dial, as inbounding the ball quickly is Ashley Rourke. Paquette knocked it out of bounds, so 1 second off the clock. 8 minutes in girls and boys high school basketball, 4 quarters. And another deflection there. No time running off. So good denial of the inbound pass by the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Ball inbounded finally to Olivia Chow. She'll hand it back off to Rourke. Rourke working on McDonald. Looks like Londonderry will slow things down. Schmidt will dribble drive into the key, and she's going to get called for the travel. She had a good look at a left-hand bank shot, but got called for too many steps, so back the other way comes Paquette and the Cardinals. Stack will get it over to McDonald. Back to Murray. Murray now looking for action. Here comes McDonald. The kick out to Paquette from 3. Yahtzee! She hits the first. BG up 3-0 in the early going here. They'll extend the full court pressure, and we'll see what the court dimensions, what effect those have against the Londonderry Lancers. So far, not many, as they have a 3-on-2, trying to get the ball into the paint, but Wheeler came away with it, dished it back off to Murray. Murray went up, and a foul going to be called. And it appears that that foul will go against Ashley Schmidt. That is her first, team's first. 3 officials here in quarterfinal, semifinal, and final basketball action for in-state tournament games. Murray will knock down the first one. Got some help from a friendly rim as Guertin goes up 4-0. Murray knocks down the second, a 5-0 BG lead. And it looks like they're going to call a, didn't know if there was a lane violation. There was, so that second one will be wiped off. Lane violation by the Cardinals, 4-0, 7:15 to play here in the first. Lancers showing great patience. Ooh, a stray. I was going to say it looked like a travel, and sure enough, it was. So Coach Theo's pointing out that whichever team can be comfortable in, in the early going has a good chance. Lancers, a couple of turnovers here, as firing from long range is Olivia Murray. Okay, you can take away my free throw. I'll just nail a 3 to make up for it on the other end. So back the other way come the Lancers. And nice ball movement there as they break the pressure. Offensive rebound goes to McGurn. She'll get the ball back out to Schmidt. Schmidt working on McDonald. Furlong will touch it on the right side. Loses her dribble, looking for help. Finds on the back door, was looking for Olivia Chow. Went off of a Guertin hand. It was a good look by Londonderry on the backdoor cut. Ball gets inbounded now. Stack came out to challenge. Dribble drive through the lane, and a nice make there, as getting on the board for the first points is Olivia Chow. 7-2 now, Guertin advantage. Paquette directing traffic, top of the circle. She'll go to her left, find Stack. Stack gets it over to McDonald. McDonald quickly over to Murray. Stack on the cut through, gets triple teamed. That ball gets stolen by Ashley Rourke. Paquette almost returned the favor. Lancers able to keep possession. Schmidt now. Bounce pass into the corner to Chow. Chow will drive into the paint, loses her dribble at the elbow. Finds McGurn. McGurn, kick out. Schmidt. And a great effort there, and I'm going to tell you right now who made that play was Ashley Rourke. That ball was going out of bounds. She ran it down and knocked it off of Paquette's leg, and because of that, the Lancers get possession. That is a hustle play right there for Londonderry. Going to be blue possession according to the official. Looks like we have a foul. And it's going to be McDonald's first. So instead of BG having possession. McDonald has a foul. A good look there on the baseline for Rourke. She'll give it up. It finds its way back to Rourke's hand. She'll left-hand dribble to the elbow. Spin move in the paint, and a pretty move there. Couldn't go. McDonald on the board. Back the other way comes Paquette and the Cardinals. Stack now was looking for Wheeler on the post. Couldn't get it there, so they'll whip it around. Murray on the skip side. Murray will drive, go up with the left. Can't get it to go. They're going to call her on the travel first. So, a couple of turnovers here for both teams. 7-2 BG lead, 5:16 to go in the first quarter. Rourke now into the corner. Got it to Furlong. Furlong will pop. Front iron and good box out there by Wheeler. Back the other way come the Cardinals. And this time Murray says, all right, you called me for travel last time. I'll take it to the hole and get an and one situation here. So a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way. 9-2 BG. And we got looks like we have a full timeout. So Coach Theos will talk it over with his Lady Lancers as Coach Craig addresses the Lady Cardinals, who have a 9-2 advantage, hoping to make it 10 with this next free throw. I want to welcome all the Division I teams and coaches from around the state who have been given this link. Hopefully you are watching us on the Highlight Guy, and for those of you in the Nashua area, you are watching us on Nashua ETV. It is a combining of forces. I refer to us as the live stream Avengers. So it is a great pleasure to be here with you. As we mentioned, the winner of this game will go on to play Bedford High School in the championship game. Bedford beat Portsmouth in the first semifinal here this evening. Those two teams will meet here again on Sunday. The winner of this one and Bedford to determine the Division I state champion. We all know what happened early in the year. Bishop Guertin overcame a 21-point deficit to Bedford and early foul trouble en route to a unbelievable victory. I'm sure the Bedford Bulldogs are looking forward to a potential rematch. But BG first has to get by this Londonderry Lancer team as Murray knocks down the second. And a nice baseball pass there, and unfortunately it goes off the hands of Kylie McGurn and out of bounds, but that was a great looking pass from Ashley Rourke. Would have made Tom Brady proud. Fortunately, a little too much mustard on that hot dog, as checking in for her first action here this evening is Sarah Clegg, number 23. McGurn will get a break for the Lancers. Paquette finds Stack at the elbow, left-hand dribble into the paint, draws the triple team, and a steal. We'll see how the Lancers operate in the half court as a fadeaway jumper by Furlong hits side iron. Would have been better served to go straight up rather than away, and left alone in a defensive breakdown there as Caitlin Wheeler found herself all alone under the left side of the hoop. The late arrival produced a foul, so a chance for a three-point play for Wheeler and the Cardinals. And we'll get one substitute as McDonald will get a break. Maisie Barker, who did not play in the first game against Londonderry, will make an appearance. Getting ready to check in is Maddie Bowen. Does not go, so Bowen will have to wait as she was coming in for the shooter Wheeler. Cardinals will fall back. Still playing tight man-to-man defense here. Ball finds its way into the corner. Rourke wanted to go baseline, and she had baseline. Paquette was slow to get there, got called for the block. So Paquette will pick up her first foul. 3 fouls against the Lancers. 2 fouls against the Cardinals. Wheeler will get a break, and Bowen is checked in. Good denial defense. The step back, that one was contested. Defensive board there by Stack. It was a good look from the point. Murray couldn't get that three-point attempt to go. That defensive boards are cleared by the Lancers. Back comes Rourke. Rourke will work on Paquette. Loses her dribble. Able to find Clegg. Clegg now gets double teamed, and a travel going to be called there. As checking back in is Kylie McGurn. And Jordan Furlong will head back to the bench. Paquette will get a break, and McDonald will check back in for the Cardinals. 12-2, 3:31 to go here. First quarter action, Sanborn Regional High School. Girls Division I semifinal. Stack on the block, a nice bounce pass. McDonald for three, can't get it to go. Defensive board there by McGurn. Back the other way come the Lancers. McGurn will get it left side beyond three. Hand it off to McGurn again. Went back to Schmidt. Schmidt now hands it back off. Shot bounces around the rim, can't go in. Chow had a good look at it. Here come the Cardinals. They don't have the numbers. We'll see if they pull it back. They do. Murray now looking backdoor to Barker. She goes in with a pretty little left-hand hook in the paint. Can't get it to go. The lid has been fixed on top of the basket for both these teams. Ooh, and a nice clear out there by Rourke. She couldn't get it to go. I'm going to say that ball went off of Bowen. Tough call trying to save it underneath your own basket. But you can't fault the hustle. It'll be a clear inbound pass as they won't guard the passer. Chow now. Will spin move. Was guarded closely by Stack. Rourke working against McDonald. And a two-person game there as Chow could not get it to go, and possession will go to the Cardinals. Murray will get a break, and checking in for her first action is Molly Smith. Also checking back in for the Lancers is Shannon Ball, and she will give Ashley Schmidt a break. Barker now, left to right on your TV or computer screen, coming up the floor. Finds McDonald. McDonald looking for Stack on the post, a little too hard. Couldn't get it to go, was wise to not reach in there and get a cheap one. Rourke now loses her dribble almost near half court. Luckily, Chow's there to help out. Chow will dribble at the foul line, reverse direction, stop at the right elbow, hand it back off to Rourke. Rourke gets the ball to McGurn. She goes up, cleans up her own mess. That ball's going to go off of Stack's feet. Londonderry will keep possession. Checking in now, Jordan Furlong. She will give Ashley Rourke a break. And a deep pass on the inbound finds its way to McGurn. She tried to get it into the corner to Furlong on the return pass, knocked out of bounds by McDonald. A lot of substitutions in the early going here. Brooke Paquette will come in and give Megan Stack her first break of the game. We are still in the first quarter, a 12-2 Guertin advantage. Furlong now, a kick out. A good look there. Clegg had what looked like an open shot, passed it up. Chow now from the right side. She'll dribble back again into the left and was looking to kick it out, and looks like they're going to call offensive foul on the clear out. So another substitute as Schmidt will check back in for McGurn. And this is just a revolving door here in the first quarter. Ashley Rourke comes in and will give Furlong a break. Lancers have fallen back defensively. So the half court set now for the Lady Cardinals. McDonald lost the handle to it. Clegg said thank you very much. And here come the Lancers. Chow now A nice kick out pass. She drew the double team. Front iron there. Ball bounces around. McDonald able to come away with the rebound. And a travel going to be called there on Molly Smith. Kate Daly will now come in and give Bowen a rest. Perhaps the longest first quarter in the history of semifinal action due to the fact that there have been so many substitutions here. McDonald applying the pressure. McGurn now working against Barker. Over to Clegg. Clegg will dribble with the left at the elbow. Pivot on that left foot, needs some help. Was able to find it there. She got it to Ashley Rourke. Paquette gonna get called for the reach in, and that's her second foul. Team fouls now. Londonderry has 4, while Bishop Guertin has 3, so neither team close to the bonus as yet. Schmidt to inbound the ball, was denied. Chow ended up getting it to Clegg. Clegg will dish it back out, and here come the Lancers. Chow with her back to the basket, will dribble to the foul line extended, wheel and deal. And the ball stolen there by Barker. Ended up tipping it to McDonald, and McDonald gonna get called for a travel. Not sure she had control of that ball to begin with. So some sloppy play here in the early going by both teams. A lot of turnovers, a feeling out process, if you will. These teams are familiar with one another. This is the 3rd meeting of the year between Londonderry and Bishop Guertin. Both of those previous games were Bishop Guertin wins, and another travel called there. We're on tape delay. Murray will inbound the ball, but before she can, Caitlin Wheeler will come back in. The only thing missing here at the gym in Sanborn is a turnstile for the kids to check in and out. It's like a revolving door. And it is a game of matchups. Barker now picks up the pick from Murray, has her pocket picked, was able to get it back there and ends up throwing it away. And back the other way comes Londonderry. Had to throw it up quickly was Rourke, and she got a good look at it, but a first half full of turnovers, a first half full of missed opportunities. A first half that has Bishop Guertin up 12-2. As sloppy as it is, if you are Coach Brad Craik, you have to point to the fact that you have held the Lancers to just 2 points here. So it could be a lot worse for the Lady Cardinals, but it could be a lot better as well. Jason Roby calling the action for you here on Nashua ETV and the highlight guy. We are simulcasting live tonight. Should Bishop Guertin win this semifinal game, we will be on tape delay for the state finals on Nashua ETV and the highlight guy. Just about ready to join me again is Tom King, master of many talents, including his writing expertise, his camera work down on the floor, and now his commentary. Tom, what did you think of that first half?
Well, I thought, Guertin struggled a little bit on offense. They got a little anxious on offense. They turned the ball over a few more times than I thought they would. It's interesting with the trap. They're waiting until they get over the half-court line.
Yeah, it's a different kind of press. That's a half-court press.
It's a half-court press, no full court. I would imagine they may spring the full court on them at some point in this game.
Yeah, I think maybe later in the game, and we've noted up here, Tom, that like a revolving door of substitutions here in the early going.
Right.
I've never seen so many substitutions. Both teams. Nick Theos obviously wanting to keep his team fresh for that very possibility that you speak of with the full court pressure. Barker now, an ill-advised pass from Murray to Barker. She was heading into the middle of the key, was defended by 3 Lancers.
And see, that's what I saw in that first half is a lot of Guertin turnovers. No fluid transition offense.
That foul is going to go against number 23, Kate Daly. It looked like a 50-50 ball. They're going to say Bailey got her body.
And I believe McDonald and Stack each have 1, right?
Stack has I don't have Stack with any, but
okay, McDonald's got one.
McDonald's has one. Paquette has two.
Oh, and then so Paquette we won't see her till the second half.
But they do have Maisie Barker, as we talked about in the pregame, so you do have a pretty good backup point guard.
Oh, yeah.
Chow now delivering, dishes it off to Ball, and Ball knocks down the three-pointer.
That's the thing, Jason. If they can shoot, which they haven't in the first quarter, then that's the three for Liv Murray.
You can't go 3 for 3 or exchange those shots with Bishop Guertin.
But if Londonderry can shoot, they can stay in the game a little bit. But if you get Murray hot for Guertin, forget it. It's lights out. 15-5.
And just what Coach Nick Theos was talking about, we can break the pressure, but then you've got to get into your half-court sets and not throw the ball away.
Right.
So they've handled the pressure effectively.
Tell you what, though, you play a first quarter like that against Bedford,
it's lights out. Yeah.
Well, it won't be lights out, but it won't be pretty. You know, I mean, I don't think we can ever say lights out after what we saw at Bedford.
That's a good point. Good steal there, or a knock out of bounds by Furlong.
Does it seem to you that Guertin's just a half a step slower?
Half a step slow, a little bit of hesitation, uncertainty. No question.
And you know what? I'll ask Brad after the game, but I would imagine what he'll say is that's the sign of a young team in a semifinal game.
At this point in the year, though, hard to be young.
Yeah, no kidding.
Daly gets the ball back to Barker. Barker finds Wheeler at the foul line, dished out. And a real good look there by Murray, but she couldn't get it to go. And back the other way come the Lancers.
I look at this Londonderry team, and I say, there's a good steal.
Murray.
She's going to go all the way and get the foul. If I'm Guertin and the coaching staff, I get my bigs there in front of me, and I said, they should not get a single rebound. You've got a height advantage on almost every big player.
That's right.
And
although if you look at here, Tom, what's interesting is the two tallest players on the court for BG are not underneath for the rebound for the free throws. They are back on defense.
Right, they're back on defense. Well,
they know that Murray's probably going to knock down these.
The way she's been hitting them.
Right. Checking back in is McDonald for Daly. Chow will get a break, and Clegg will come back in for the Lancers. Your leading scorer right now is Olivia Murray with 11 points. Make that 12. Here comes the full court pressure. Tom King as Londonderry gets it in. The trap in the corner. They get it back.
Knew we'd see it.
Have to be patient, but also have to be cognizant of the time, and they get it over in time.
No,
they didn't.
Not.
Wow, he was ready to call it, and he did. So patience.
And you know where you get the advantage for Guertin in that situation? Besides the call and why that call was made? You have 3 officials.
That's correct.
And that one official is going to keep track of the entire
He's going to take care of the entire backcourt, no question about it.
And there you go.
Barker now, left side, looking to set up the half court, finds Wheeler. Wheeler looking for the high post to Stack. They double team her. Ball gets knocked away, comes up in the hands of Marshall, who got it back over to Schmidt. Schmidt now looks and finds Rourke.
Guertin's just got to take better care of the basketball.
Rourke, a pretty spin move in the glass, can't get it to go.
And is that on McDonald? If that's it,
we'll find out.
She's going to come out. Yeah, Brad's just checking with her. Yep.
No, going to be on Barker.
Oh, Barker.
So Barker picks up her first.
All right.
5 team fouls for both Londonderry and Bishop Guertin as Schmidt misses the first of 2. Checking back in is Kylie McGurn. She'll give Catherine Marshall a break. 17-5, Bishop Guertin up 12, 5:57 to play here in the first half. Schmidt will knock down the second, 17-6 now. Lancers quickly fall back. McDonald left alone in the corner. She's going to get called for the travel.
And another turnover.
She takes that little hop step, Tom, and a lot of them do, and I haven't seen it called much this year. That's the first time I've seen it.
They're calling it a lot tonight. If you've seen it, they are looking at it. They're looking for it.
Ball now, and I'm sure that's a matter of film review and letting the officials know they take that hop step when they shoot.
And that's something that BG will go over if they win this game, go over between now and Sunday.
Oh, looking for the backdoor cut there was Schmidt, and unfortunately, they were not on the same page. Murray will inbound to Barker. Londonderry once again will fall back defensively. they pick up. McDonald will drive into the key. A nice
Murray.
kick out to Murray.
Yeah, she doesn't take it. Good job by Londonderry to get over there defensively. Stack should just go to the hoop.
Stack does just that, Tom King, and gets the bucket.
Because, Jason, in 2 years, unless she really has another growth spurt, when she goes to play in college, she will be a guard and not a forward if she can go to the higher level.
Right.
And she's going to need to learn how to handle the ball, which she does pretty well. But also, I think she's going to have to learn how to shoot from the outside. Nice move in the paint.
Pretty move by Shannon Ball as she went in.
Yeah, Ball's fearless.
Barker now.
I wonder if it's the same family. I think it probably is. That's been in Londonderry for years.
The Ball name is
very athletic
absolutely.
family.
Very much so. Ball kicked around. That's going to go off the hands of Murray. Wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout by Brad Craik at some point here. I would not be surprised if he did not take another timeout at some point. Lynch will check in.
Guertin's turnovers are almost equaling Londonderry's. I got a 12-10.
Yeah, not a pretty game to be sure. As back the other way comes McGurn and the Lancers. McGurn working against Wheeler. They'll get it up top. Going into the paint, and a nice look there. Stack was able to clean the glass. Back the other way comes McDonald in the Cards. They'll find the trailer. They'll dish it out, and a good look there by Hannah Lynch.
Barker with the rebound. Grabbing the long rebound off the shot. But again on that play, all right, post it up, go right in.
Oh, pretty move.
Yep, go right in. You've got the advantage, go right in.
And that's probably...
In fact, in the previous possession, I think she made a mistake by not doing just that.
Could be. Stack will go to the line for a pair of free throws here. She has 2 points thus far on the evening, a 19-8 Guertin advantage. She'll front iron the first, so free throws dooming the Cardinals nearly going here as well. They've missed a couple. The lefty gets the second one to go with some nice English on that one. Rourke now working against the trap. She'll try to reverse the floor. She gets it back into the hands of Schmidt. Schmidt gets the ball to Clegg.
That's a good job to beat that trap.
Clegg finds Ball in the corner. Ball will dish it around. They'll whip it to Rourke. Rourke, step back three. Can't get the roll. Position underneath. And they're going to say that McGurn's foot was on the baseline.
Yep. Good call.
So a good battle as she had position actually on Caitlin Wheeler.
I was afraid they were going to call a jump ball there because it looked like Guertin had, you know, I'd say when you start scrambling for the ball like that, I'd give it 2 seconds before I would call the arrow.
Barker to Stack, Stack to Lynch. A little stagnant now with the half court.
Yeah.
McDonald, left-hand dribble.
It's been that way all game, I think.
Lynch will whip it around to Barker. Flashing through the paint was McDonald. She couldn't get it. Lynch, a nice look. A step back three on her. Oh,
yes,
what a pretty shot there by Megan Stack.
And get used to it, Megan Stack, because that's the shot you need in college.
Clegg now at half court, and it looks like Clegg was standing on the sideline there, so the turnover will go to the Cardinals. Barker can't do it by herself, so here comes Megan Stack over. She'll go to the bench, and Maddie Bowen will do the honors from the half-court strike, cleaning up some liquid on the paint under the hoop, and we are back underway. Barker now finds Bowen at the elbow.
If Barker had gone to her right, she had a clear lane.
Barker looking for Bowen on the pick and roll, and again, that play's not working for him tonight.
Not. 3 Lancers converge on the ball. This is how Londonderry won the semifinal with their defense.
Rourke on the backdoor cut, and a pretty look there, and it looks like Lynch is going to get called for the foul as Shannon Ball went to the hoop. And it was Hannah Lynch on the foul. That is her first. So Ball will go to the line with a chance for 2 more. In and out on the first. Murray will check back in and give Lynch a break. And with so much of the substitutions, Tom, hard for either team really to get in the rhythm. Ball will get the second. She has 6 points on the evening, 2:38 to go here, a 23-9 Guertin advantage. And Barker dribbles the ball into the paint.
Yeah, watched it roll out of bounds.
Well,
she watched it roll. I think she thought it was off Londonderry.
She was met violently in there by a defender, and
she expected a call and expected it to go out blue, and it didn't.
Nice play there by Bowen. Knocked the ball away.
Londonderry is doing a good job, Jason, of using their body to get away from the arm length of Guertin when they have the ball.
I've seen a couple of forearm shoves away, but nothing too blatant that would be
No,
called.
look at that, pick and roll.
What
right
a nice
there.
play. And Rourke can't clean it up, but a good look by Londonderry. Pretty
if Londonderry
play.
had some better offensive touch, they'd be in this game more than they are now.
McDonald to Barker, back to Murray. Murray gets her pocket picked, able to get it back and find McDonald, who will fire from Plastow, and that was an ill-advised shot. It's back the other way.
Gets a look from
the Lancers.
Gets a look from Brad.
And the second time we've seen that in as many games, the ball getting jammed up there.
We saw it last Sunday.
Ashley Rourke got called for the travel first, so. And you know how we got the ball down the first time was Tori Conrad. Tori Conrad got it out the first time.
Exactly.
Yep.
She do windows? I got like this tall window. I mean, she could probably reach it without me having to get on a ladder.
Let me tell you, Tori Conrad, a super young lady, great shot putter, good basketball player.
Great athlete, goalie.
Terrific
She's
young lady.
Not a bad soccer goalie.
Yeah, absolutely
right. And she is going to do great things in college athletically.
Murray now in the corner, and another turnover by the Cardinals. Clegg came away with it, found McGurn, and got it back to Schmidt. Schmidt now behind the back. She'll set up the offensive set.
Nice move.
And they're working that back door nicely, Tom. McDonald was there to steal it, but they've seen something with the overcommittal.
Yeah, they watched a lot of film.
Barker, nice crossover dribble into the paint, and gonna get called.
Yep,
going up.
Gonna shoot two. Londonderry, you can tell, they have studied some things on Guertin, and tendencies and things like that. And Kurt Dutilli told me a couple of things in terms of how Guertin's press is, that they only go to a certain line, do certain things, certain areas. When he took a look at some film, so you can take a look at some film and get those tendencies, and maybe that helps you a little bit. As we got a timeout on the floor, they got to mop the floor, I think. And if that's the case, you can bet Bedford is looking at film. They'll look at this, but they'll also look heavily onto the game at Bedford and check that out, especially the second half, which for them must be a fright night film.
Well, foul trouble was the dooming factor for
Bedford.
Bishop Guertin in the first game in the first half.
And Bedford in the second half.
And Bedford in the second.
Yep.
But, both teams completely different at this point. As they clean up that what appears to be some spillage there on the paint. And this is a gym, Tom King, a lot of people don't know this, that actually had some water damage in it. There was a leak in the roof at one point, not this year, but some time ago, as Barker misses the first. And they had to do some cleanup here. But this is a beautiful facility, a nice school. They've really done a nice job here. Barker misses the first of two. Knocks down the second. Rourke now will dribble baseline. Able to find Furlong. They skip it back across to Schmidt.
There's a trap.
And there is Stack.
That's a late call. Stack was already in her dribble on the way to the basket when the whistle blew.
Well, that's going to be 17 fouls or 18 fouls. Either way, Stack's going to the line for one-on-one.
Right, yep. But again, that call wasn't made on contact.
Right.
Stack had broken free and was on her way. That was a quick quarter. 46.9 seconds left in the half.
See, to me, it feels like it's been the longest first half ever. Megan Stack knocks down the first, and I think it's just because of, all the substitutions.
Well, it has been a long half. It's a 40-minute. What time did this game start?
7:05.
7:05. So
Yeah.
it's a 35-minute half right now. Clock, normal clock time.
Stack around the rim it goes. Can't knock it down.
And
43 seconds.
That reminds me, people who are watching this, don't forget tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, but Saturday night. Turn your clocks ahead. Spring ahead.
Yep. And
That's
speaking
always
of Saturday night, Bishop Guertin boys will be playing in the state finals against Winnicunnet.
That'll be a very good basketball game.
Another pick and roll there by Londonderry.
Yeah, but Stack is the wall in the middle to ruin that play.
Ball kicked it back out to Schmidt. Schmidt works it into the corner. Rourke now. They'll pull it back. She loses her dribble.
Yeah, they may go for the last
Another
shot.
back
No,
door.
they won't.
And Stack went straight up and down, and a nice job by her. 9 seconds to go. Wheeler can't clean it up,
No,
so
she
back
didn't
the
have
other
a good
way.
position there.
And Stack with the steal at the buzzer. So we're going to go.
Stagnant offensive game for BG. Not exactly the smartest offensive game I've seen them play.
A 25-9 Bishop Guertin advantage, but we've grown accustomed to seeing 25 points scored in the first quarter alone sometimes, Tom.
25 points scored in about 5 minutes time.
Right.
I mean, let me put it in perspective. Against Nashua North at BG, it was 28-2 second quarter. That was the second quarter tally. So 25-9 here at the half. It'll be interesting to hear what Brad Crick has to say about how his team has played and what he hasn't liked.
I'm going to say Nick Theos has really hung his hat on the defensive effort by his team, and that's evidenced by that 39-34 win in the quarters. You only scored 39, but you gave up 34.
It is, but the problem is to win the game.
Right.
You look good
right.
with the final, but to win the game, you need points. Points are essential.
We are going to be getting to speak with Brad Craig, the head man of BG, in the first semifinal here this evening. Bedford took care of Portsmouth High School. They won that game going away and looking like a very formidable team. Their only loss of the year coming to this Bishop Guertin team in the second contest of the year, and it was a team that was supposed to play BG again, but we had some weather come in, and so that game got postponed and ultimately canceled. And so if things stay the way they are here, we could see that much anticipated rematch between BG and Bedford, but much work to be done here from the campus of Sanborn High School before we get to that final. 25-9, Bishop Guertin advantage as Coach Brad Craig set to join us up here. Coach, how are we doing? Thanks for taking some time to meet with us, and your initial thoughts here of the first half.
Yeah, we're doing a pretty good job defensively, so we'll take that. I think you saw some of the nerves early. We had a bunch of turnovers. I think we had 14 turnovers, and some of them were just happy feet where, the kids are just amped up.
Anxious, a little anxious.
Yeah.
And it looked, Brad, like they were maybe a little half a step slower, offensively especially.
I think that's probably what happens when you're in your head a little bit. You're nervous. You're very, So I'm not at all surprised by that. We'll settle down. We'll be fine offensively. I'm not worried about that. I'm just pleased that we're doing a pretty good job defensively, and we held them to 9 in the first half. So that's good.
One of the things that Coach Theos talked about leading into this game was how tenacious his defense played against that Wyndham team, and clearly they've brought that with them here to this semifinal game. I don't want to say holding you to 25 points, but creating turnovers, creating some things that are uncharacteristic of your team during the season.
Yeah, look, he's a great coach, and his kids work their tails off for him. you know, they're always tough. And I think you and I talked about this very early in the season, that you know, he just does a great job with the basics and the fundamentals with those kids, and they get better as the year goes on. And look, they're not going to make it easy for anybody.
Right.
You know, we're going to have to go out and earn it. And look, we're up 16 at the half, so
right.
we're fine.
What's
we're
the
fine.
message as you go into the half? What are you going to tell the team in terms of what the objective is here, aside from winning the second half?
Yeah, I think just continue to defend in the half court, continue to push the pace, and then just settle down offensively and just play. You know, we got enough kids that have played enough basketball that if we just settle down and continue to attack, we'll be fine offensively.
I have to ask you, Coach, it seemed like in the beginning of this, when there was a lot of chess matches going back and forth in terms of the revolving door of substituting kids in and out, was there a reasoning for that, or trying to get kids some experience in a semifinal or get used to the floor?
Yeah, well, Nick's probably playing chess. I'm playing checkers. I'm playing checkers. And, you know, I guess the only thing I could say is, you know, we've always liked to try to get 8-9 kids get their feet wet in the first quarter of the game. So it was really nothing more than that from our perspective. He's a lot smarter than I am, so he probably had something more sinister at hand. But we were just trying to get kids in the game and, you know, get their feet wet.
Yeah, but it's a good idea to do that because, you know, I mean, you're going to need numbers against Bedford. You're going to need to roll guys, people in and out, in and out.
Well,
I'm sure Coach doesn't want to talk about Bedford just yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the game.
This is Brad Craik, the head man of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals.
I hear you.
Coach, want to thank you for joining us. Best of luck in the second half, and hopefully we get to chat with somebody at the end of this one.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care, Coach. That is Brad Craik, the head man of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. His team up 25-9 as we head into the second part of halftime here from the campus of Sanborn Regional High School. So I am joined by Londonderry headman Nick Theos. And Nick, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
First of all, got to talk a little bit about that game that you just played against Wyndham, that quarterfinal victory you had. It was a very close game, back and forth all the way. What was the difference in that one?
Like so many of our games this year, effort and the little things, defense especially. We haven't been able to put the ball through the hoop much this year. Scores have been a little lower, so we've had to find ways to scrap out wins. Rebounding, defense, that seems to be the best way for us to get it done.
Yeah, defensively, looks like you held them to 34 points, so you obviously did a nice job on the defensive side of things. And
Dempsey's not easy to stop
no,
either, so.
No, absolutely not. I've covered that Wyndham team a couple of times, and kudos to your team.
Thank you.
I happened to watch you a couple of times this year, once online and once in person. Coach, obviously the second game you played against this Bishop Guertin team was a lot different than the first. Not talking points now, but what are the things that you did differently in that second game that made it a lot closer?
Well, first of all, Bishop Guertin they are a beast, and it's tough to have the kids not be a little nervous going into things.
Right.
And I think that kind of got in our heads a little bit the first game. But X's and O's wise, we made a couple of adjustments, defensively especially, where we wanted to get their shots off, what kind of shots, taking away their fast break, which is really their bread and butter, and then breaking the pressure. I mean, they dominate with their pressure. That's the biggest key.
This court a little bit bigger than the one on the campus of Bishop Guertin, so that should bode well for your ladies tonight.
No question. So,
Coach, if I had to ask you, keys to victory tonight for your team, offensively and then defensively, because clearly those are both different things. What do you have to do for this to bode well for you tonight?
Certainly. First and foremost, like I said, the pressure. If we have our guards making the right reads, and especially against their press, again, it's tough. You want to push, but you don't want to play at their pace. So you have to make them pay for pressing. So hopefully our guards are ready to make the right decisions, hit the open kids, especially layups. And then defensively, again, hold on to them. They're so quick. They sprint the floor like nobody else. If we force them into secondary shots, and we force them into maybe their second shots and not their first options, we'll have a better chance, and then crash the board. Everybody has a size advantage over us this year, but them especially. So we'll have to do a really good job on the boards as well if we want to compete.
Coach, the last thing I have, you finished this thought for me. Londonderry will be in this game at halftime if
we relax, if we come out strong. So many of these games, again, we've been in a handful of them now in Londonderry since I've been coaching, and there's the nerves that start things off, and the team that relaxes fastest usually gets a nice little head start on things, and they get maybe a little bit of a jump start on the scoreboard. So that's what we've been trying to tell our kids, is to relax, enjoy the process, have fun, and if we can get that to happen, then I think we'll be okay at halftime.
He is Nick Theos, head man of the Londonderry girls basketball team. They are set to do action against Bishop Guertin here in just a little bit. Coach, want to wish you the best of luck and congratulations on a fine season this year.
We'll do air pumps. There it is.
Right,
Thank
buddy.
you very much.
You
I
got
appreciate it, guys.
Take care. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Hi, my name is Amelia, and I work at Harbor Care. My family and friends live in the community of Nashua. I decided to get vaccinated against COVID-19 for the health and safety of myself, my family, friends, as well as my community. I experienced mild side effects just for a couple of days, and then I was fine. I would like to encourage everyone in the community to get vaccinated against COVID-19, particularly people of color. If I can do it, you can do it.
All right, welcome back everybody to the gym here at Sanborn Regional High School. We are at halftime of the girls semifinal action, the second game of the evening. Bedford beat Portsmouth in the first one. They advanced to the finals on Sunday night, and they await the winner of this one. Bishop Guertin and Londonderry. Guertin in their all-white uniforms, Londonderry in their blue. Londonderry will have a steep hole to climb out of as they are down 25-9, but they have hung in there. A first half that was filled with turnovers on both sides.
Yeah, he had 14.
14 turnovers against
more than I had.
Guertin. So,
in fact, I would say that Guertin had more turnovers, which is very rare.
well, they'll have to clean it up here if they want to get that.
You got to go into a final playing your best game, I think, the way you know.
So this will be a telltale sign of that, how they respond at the half, as Paquette now will work at the top of the key. And she's looking for motion from Murray directing traffic.
Yeah.
They're looking for Stack on the low post. That bounce pass knocked away. Good denial defense there by Chow. McDonald behind the back. Gets it over to Murray. Murray finds a streaking Paquette, drives through the lane, can't get it to go, and Chow cleans up the glass. Good rebound.
It's the right play, though.
Yep.
But see, what we're seeing is Guertin needing to score without transition. And that's something that they'll need to do.
Right. From the outside, a good look there by Rourke, but McDonald will come away with it. She'll pull it up and find Stack at the top of the key, whipped around to Wheeler.
Dang.
She'll fire, and she's not shy.
Dang.
She'll knock down a three-bagger from the outside.
This is one of the best shooting teams I've seen Guertin have over the years.
And here comes the pressure, Tom. They fall back to a 2-3 here. And nice job by Londonderry to handle that pressure as Chow gets over, jump stop, finds a streaking Rourke, couldn't get it to go. Ball saved, and a nice play there by Furlong.
Those plays right there, those loose balls, those are the ones that Guertin's not getting to in this game.
Well, you don't get to this point in the year if you're not a team that is well coached, like Coach Brad Craig said about Nick Theos. As a timeout taken here. You know, this is a Londonderry team that has progressively gotten better throughout the year, and I have to be honest with you, if you had told me, you know, back in January that this Londonderry team would beat Wyndham, I would have second-guessed that.
Well, I think that one of the reasons, and not to downplay what they've done, but, I mean, that's a huge win over Wyndham, and they did it on their floor, and it was defensively oriented. But I think all things equal, that if Pinkerton hadn't had to give up their spot due to COVID, they would be playing this game right now, and it would be a tough game for BG.
And on this floor especially, no question about that, Tom.
No question.
The bigger the floor gets,
the tougher it is for
Guertin.
Just because it takes away, it gives the opposition more room to outmaneuver the press.
Schmidt will inbound the ball to Rourke. Rourke working on McDonald. Crossover dribble there. Gets it back to McGurn. McGurn, left-hand dribble. Extends her arm out really wide. Got it to Schmidt. Schmidt, a nice bounce pass in the paint. And that ball, unfortunately, for the Lancers went off of Furlong, as she would have had a good look at a left-hand layup. So another turnover for Londonderry. Good help defense there by the Cardinals.
And again, that's what Brad Creek is looking at. He's looking at his defensive effort. But boy, it's
tough sledding right now.
It is.
Into the paint. A nice look there as a good pass from Murray to Wheeler.
Wheeler, 5 quick points.
Yeah, and they're establishing her in the early going here. They'll take what they can get. Lancers have to be aware of that 10-second violation, rather. They get it over, and a good steal there by Paquette. Unfortunately, she had 1 foot out of bounds and 1 foot inbounds. So possession will stay with the Lancers. Getting in the passing lane there was McDonald. Fortunately, Rourke will drive. Couldn't get it to go. Chow cleans it up, and she'll get fouled, and we'll see who that was.
It's going to be on either McDonald or Stack, isn't it?
It looks like it's going to be against, I don't know if that was a 2 or a 1. Looked like McDonald maybe. So that's her second foul.
Don't put it up on the board. So
Chow will knock down the first.
But again, if you're Londonderry, 10 points here is not going to get the job done. 9 points and a half, that won't do it.
Knocks down the second with a knuckleball. So Chow 2 for 2 from the line. Back comes Paquette and the Cardinals in the half-court set. Paquette now dribbling towards the right side, looking for Stack on the baseline, and she is being pestered all night, Tom.
No kidding.
And that one's going to stay on the floor, but you're going to see much of the same against Bedford.
If you looked at that play, you almost thought Stack was the defender.
Right.
You know, she had to stick her hand out just to get a touch on the ball.
And I'll tell you, if they're having trouble with this Londonderry team, they're going to face a Bedford team with a lot more length.
No doubt about it, a lot of length.
Stack with a pretty move, using the right hand. The lefty goes up, finishes it off. Baseball pass there, knocked out of bounds by Stack. And the Lancers had the numbers. They had a 3-on-1 if that pass was complete. So Stack makes a very important defensive play there. As checking back in is Clegg. She will give Schmidt a break. Into the backcourt it goes to Chow. She'll work against Stack. Behind the back, reversing directions, the handoff to Rourke. Rourke now working on McDonald, loses her dribble. That ball gets stolen back the other way, comes Wheeler and the Cards. McDonald in the corner, she thought about it. Back out to Murray. Murray crossover dribble in the paint. The Lancers collapse well. And a nice job there as Paquette found Murray in a really nice play.
You didn't see that in the first half. You didn't see that.
I think that's an adjustment that they must have made when they collapsed the defense, find the back door, and a turnover on Londonderry there.
You didn't see that type of fluid ball movement. You saw the dribble, and then you saw them kind of look for passing and look for somebody open.
A 34-11 Bishop Guertin lead, so a 23-point advantage right now for the Cardinals. Wheeler will fire from the outside. Back iron, rebound to McGurn and the Lancers. Back the other way comes Rourke and Londonderry.
She wanted that shot too. She called for the ball.
And another turnover as the ball will go off of someone in blue's hands. Checking back in, or getting her first action rather, for the Lancers. Looks like Madeline O'Shaughnessy. Paquette working against Clegg, bounce pass to the elbow to McDonald. She had an open look at 3. Oh, nice pull back there and a nice underneath. Open. And Wheeler was all alone clapping for it and finally cleaned up her mess and made good.
She got shoved on the play, no call. I never saw that before.
7 points for Wheeler here in the third quarter.
Great third quarter.
And another steal by Stack finds McDonald underneath. She went for the reverse, gets fouled.
How do you make that bounce pass from that distance and get it there? That's an incredible pass.
So McDonald was the beneficiary of that said pass, and she will go to the line for a pair of free throws. And Megan Stack doing it all, offensively, defensively, passing the ball. McDonald will front rim the first. Barker will come in and give Wheeler a break. Coach Craig trying to find the right matchups here. Donald knocks down the second. Clegg will get a break as Schmidt re-enters the game. Guertin now applying the full court pressure. They'll get the trap in the corner. Chow able to dribble out of it. A 3-on-1, a nice bounce pass there. And you are banished from the kingdom of hardwood, but no, a foul is called on Stack. Looked like initially that ball was blocked. She's gonna get called.
I can't believe they called a foul on that. And that's not a homer call. I thought she went in midair and knocked the ball away. And did she get her with the body? I didn't think so.
Not sure, but
I'd have to see it again.
so Stack, and I think, Tom, that's her first foul of the game. Shannon Ball misses the first of two. Wait, we want to say hi to Molly Smith's grandparents watching at home. We're also live on BCTV in Bedford tonight as well. So hello to Molly Smith's grandparents. Great Malls of Fire. And a beautiful play there by Megan Stack as she goes up for the left hand.
And that's the play. I mean, I always think when Stack's got the ball in the paint, she should just, against, when a height advantage, just take it to the rim. Just take it all the way. And she does that. But again, like I said, Jason, in college, that's the move she's going to have to make.
Right.
She'll be a guard. So.
A 39-12 Bishop Guertin lead. So they've seen that advantage balloon here in the third quarter.
They've solved their offensive problems in this half. They've gotten a little bit more confident with the ball, more confident with what they want to do, and have been fluid offensively. There's not a lot of standing around like there was in the first half.
Well, they found the open player on the box, opposite side on the drive. Yeah, you can close down and triple team all you want. We're going to be left alone on the backside baseline for some easy looks.
It'll be tougher to do on Sunday.
Well, no question, and there's still a lot of basketball to be played here, but a 27-point advantage. I do have to agree with you, Tom. It's not going to be that easy on Sunday, no doubt about it. But you're going to have what should be your two best teams playing on the final weekend of the season. Should we get there? A lot of basketball to be played here as the Lancers now will bring the ball up the floor. Schmidt has that ball stolen by Paquette. And foul called there, so probably a good one. That would have ended up a layup for the Cardinals. Olivia Murray takes the ball out of bounds, gets it to Brooke Paquette. Paquette now working top of the key, gets it to Stack at the elbow. Her back to the basket, was looking for Barker under the hoop. Paquette now, a little hesitation move in the paint, and a three-point potential play here.
And you remember when I said that Guertin was a step slow in that first half? That step is back because they weren't able to really beat too many people off the dribble in that first half.
Right, and a nice look there by Paquette. I'm sure Brad Craig went back and said, you wouldn't believe what Tom King's saying about you up there.
Exactly right. Oh, I'm probably in trouble with a lot of things I say up there.
No argument here, Tom King.
Yep.
All right, the Lancers come back the other way.
Remember, Jason, you're a journalist now.
Yeah, indeed, sir.
You're a journalist.
I said no swearing at the table, sir.
Right.
No foul language. Another foul there called. Looks like it's on Ashley Schmidt, so. And Stack will get a break as Molly Smith will check into the game. As well as Maddie Bowen. She'll get the ball to Paquette. Cardinals playing well beyond the three-point line here. Near steal there by Rourke. Barker now working on Chow. Oh, and a nice pick by Bowen up top. Nope. Found Smith, who found Paquette, who found nothing but air. Here come the Lancers. Chow now. Foul line. Goes all the way around the paint.
Nice move.
And
like that energy from the paint. Drives to the side, turns around, spins. All in one motion.
Olivia Chow will get an opportunity at the line here, just missing the three-point play, but she'll get a pair of free throws. She'll knock down the first. Pair of free throws for Olivia Chow. She now has 6 points on the day. Paquette on the right side will get it to Smith. Smith to Barker. Barker to McDonald. Back to Barker to Paquette. Paquette will fire from way downtown. Hits a lot of backboard and not much else as the defensive board goes to the Lancers. Ashley Rourke now, crossover dribble on McDonald. Again to the right, through the legs. Loses the dribble, finds Chow. Chow now, double team, felt it. Backdoor Clegg, nice pass.
But you get the double team when you go inside.
Looked like the Lancers may have had something on the opposite side. They do, they find it. A three-pointer barely clipped the rim, was Furlong's three-point attempt. Back the other way comes Paquette and the Cards. Paquette to Barker, goes between her legs on the floor, diving for it. Were the Lancers, and a travel going to be called there. It was a good effort by Ball, as Olivia Murray will come in and give Paquette a break. And so too will Caitlin Wheeler, as McDonald gets a rest.
Strength in numbers when you can make those substitutions.
Been interesting watching the pressure here from the Cardinals.
And stepped
on the baseline, on the sideline there. So that turnover created by Molly Smith.
Yeah, I always think the way to beat the press is down the middle.
Reverse it. Always reverse it.
Yep.
The numbers are on the side of where the ball is, and if you can reverse it,
yep,
you have a chance to beat it. A nice backdoor cut there to Bowen, and she's going to get called for steps.
Traveled again. Yep.
I think she was amazed at how wide open she was.
She couldn't decide, pass it or shoot it, you know. And then when you have that indecision, all of a sudden you take an extra step doing it. So that's going to happen.
And there's that baseball. See, Tom? Reverse it.
You're
you
right.
reverse it. Of course I'm right.
Yep.
I'm undefeated up here, sir.
That's right.
Shannon Ball, pretty look on the other end of things. Bowen now to Barker. Barker, crossover, pretty move. Good adjustment there by Ball. She was able to regroup and get back in front defensively. Good denial defense here by the Lancers as Barker has her pocket pick.
This is what they did in that first half.
Chow goes up, no whistle called.
Yeah, there may be one, though, if they don't hit this.
And from the outside, a pretty shot there by Ashley Rourke. She has her first bucket, a three-pointer.
But see, this is the problem that they in that previous possession, everybody was standing around.
5 seconds to go now.
Foul on London.
They can call offensive foul here, Tom,
yes,
I think.
You're right, they did.
Not sure.
Yeah, Brad's looking for an explanation.
I think we all are. I don't know. Let's see what we get for a number here. Looks like Murray going to get called for the foul. So I believe that's her first. 4.1 seconds to go here. Londonderry trying to get the last shot of the third quarter, down 42-19. Rourke now 2-1, and good denial defense there. Good defensive back play by Olivia Murray, knocking that one out. So 0.9, they should be able to get a shot off. We'll see if they want a 30-second timeout.
With 0.9?
Oh, yeah.
Why waste a timeout there? 0.9 seconds.
Well, they're asking him. We'll see what unless there's something going on over here that I don't know about.
They made that sign. I saw the sign. I go, you can't be serious.
I think what they're talking about is, Not quite sure.
I'm not either.
All right. Jeopardy theme music, anyone?
No, I think did he want to make a substitution? Is that what he wanted to do? Ball just came out of the game, I believe, didn't she?
Yeah, and it looked like Schmidt came back in. So
yeah, he wanted to make the substitution. And they were trying to tell him he might have to take a timeout to do it.
Oh, a nice backdoor look, and they would have had it.
They would have had it, but Murray, with a quick hand, she did it on the way over, and she did it on the way in.
Furlong with a nice backdoor cut, kind of couldn't get a good grasp of it. Very similar to my words on that last sentence. 42-19 as we head into the fourth quarter.
Journalist.
You read my book, Tom? I gave you a book.
I read it. It took me 4 months.
Okay, good.
I read a word a day.
Good for you, sir.
Yep.
They rhyme. I thought I had you in mind when I wrote it. So.
Exactly.
All right, so it is a 42-19 Bishop Guertin advantage. 8 minutes to go here. Bedford awaits on the other side of things as they took care of their business in the first half of the semifinal.
Now, you saw that game?
I saw about third quarter on.
And what did you think?
Bedford is very good.
Yeah.
And, very similar where...
It was 22-15 after the first quarter. It was
very similar to this.
Quarter.
Yes, very similar to, close. Portsmouth was able to score, but then just that length and that athleticism and the ball movement and in the paint, they have some bigs that can really do damage, does Bedford High School. So it's just a good team, and I'm sure they're anxious to get to Sunday, no question about that. But there's still 1 quarter to play here, as losing her dribble out well beyond the three-point line was
almost.
Rourke. Rourke able to regain her dribble, finds Clegg.
Here, I'll tell you in a second what strikes me about this game.
Nice jump shot there in the paint by Clegg. She has her first bucket of the evening.
What haven't we seen in this game? We haven't seen the steal, the layup, the score. We
Correct,
haven't seen the steal, the layup, the score.
Right.
Compounded time after time after time.
And you're not going to see that on this size of floor.
No, not on this floor.
Not in the half court. Nope. And Stack goes up over the top.
Stack's got to go up there. She's got to put the shot up.
McDonald will check back in.
She wanted to get the pass down low, but there are too many bodies there, not enough room. And you need to just be a little unselfish there and put the ball up.
I think the defensive gameplay in that championship game for Bishop Guertin is going to be extremely important in the half court. And that ball gets thrown away by Paquette. They're looking to see if it touched anybody's hand. It did not, so the Lancers will get it.
But that's good, though. You check with the other ref if you're not sure, and you got plenty to check from. So it's a different kind of game on this floor, no question about it.
And you have to believe that the half court, being a hometown guy right now, you have to believe the half court game favors the Bulldogs in the championship game. But we'll see. Nice block shot there by Megan Stack, and she comes the other way, and she looks possessed as she was dribbling down the floor. Able to find Wheeler, had a good look at it, but front irons it. And look who steals it, Tom. Stack.
Yeah, she's done it before in this game.
She goes baseline, no whistle there. McDonald cleans it up.
No, they're letting a lot of contact go in the second half.
We'll see how consistent that is as Murray goes through the lane and knocks down the runner. So Murray.
She's been their most consistent player.
Well, she had 2 in the third and two now here in the fourth. She had a great first half score-wise as that trap rearing its ugly head, and looks like a foul going to be called on the floor. We'll see who they give it to. And that's what you got to be careful of if you're Guertin in that next round, Tom.
Yep,
foul trouble. Checking back in, Shannon Ball, and getting her first action here this evening. It looks to be Kylie Crawford. Chow will dribble baseline. Backdoor cut, guarded well there by Paquette. Chow, spin move, needs help. Fans calling for a 5-second violation. Ball stolen there.
It's going to be one or the other.
Nice roll, nice touch there by Wheeler. Paquette could have got it. She let Wheeler do the honors. We had a full head of steam. Cleaned it up on the other end. Crawford comes out the second pick on McDonald. They're going to call a travel on Ball there as she lost her balance and was falling forward as she got the pass off. Hopefully we can get a couple of Lady Cardinals up here for post-game interview, but we'll see how this one plays out. McDonald goes baseline on Clegg. Clegg did a nice job of cutting it off. Stack, the up and under move. She's going to get called for too many steps.
Thought so.
And again, it's going to be a lot tougher in there come Sunday, Tom. A lot tougher.
It's going to be brutal. Guertin is going to need their outside game.
Yep. Rourke finds ball. Not sure that was on purpose, but it doesn't matter. Nice backdoor cut. Had Crawford stepping in front of that one. Was Olivia Murray.
Bedford has so much length. I don't think they need to play zone in that game. I would play man-to-man if I was Bedford.
Murray from the outside. Top is on the basket. Clegg clears the boards, gets it the ball. Ball will come down the middle. Forced left by Paquette. Loses her dribble. And a
Stack.
Foul going to be called here.
Should be on Stack. Once she joined the party over there, that's when they blew the whistle.
Looks like that might be
with
her
three
first.
with 3 officials.
Yep, or her second rather. Sorry.
With 3 officials, they are going to call a lot of that. Now in a regular season game with just 2, that play might have gone by the boards. They might have let that go.
Kate Daly will check in for Caitlin Wheeler as the Lancers keep possession here on the baseline now. Reversing direction is Rourke.
Oh, high dribble, got away.
Very high dribble.
Yeah.
Looking for that backdoor cut, and Paquette steals it. Chow. And a great body control by Paquette as Chow slowed down but threw the hips into her. So
you know where that comes from? Soccer.
Yeah.
You know, she's a good soccer player, and she's used to contact in soccer, so she kept her form on that she did not let the contact from Chow affect her.
Paquette with an opportunity for a 3-point play here.
And she's a good soccer player, and I was stunned that they didn't put her on the All-State team last year in the fall. I was surprised.
Paquette can't get it to go, and it looks like
over the top.
Going to be called on
over the top.
On who though? I feel like they called it on Lynch, and they did. They called it on Hannah Lynch. I did not realize she had just checked in. So Megan Stacking, a nice round of applause and some recognition from the bench as Maddie Bowen will check back in. Chow knocks down the first and earns herself a second. So 17 fouls against Guertin, and next one will put BG in the bonus as only 6 against Londonderry. Chow back irons the second.
Ooh.
That ball is going to go off of Clegg.
Slipped.
She slipped, so Cardinals will get possession. 48-22, 26-point Guertin advantage, 4:40 to go here in the fourth. Flashing through the paint now, and a nice steal there by Chow, but able to get it back was Paquette. Finds Daly in the corner to Bowen, back over to Murray. Murray now working on Clegg. Delay, hesitation in the paint, and they do that hesitation step, Tom, and that's where they get that drive.
Boy.
Nice job there by Murray finishing it off.
What's she have? Unofficially.
Unofficially, I got her at 18.
Yeah, I was going to say 16. Yep, 18 sounds right.
Yep.
And my mind takes me back to that first Bedford game where she was cool as a cucumber at the foul line.
Right, yeah, hit a lot of big shots from the free throw line.
Yep, in the fourth quarter, down the stretch, she hit her free throws, and that put Bedford in the spot where they had to do some things to try to get have a chance to win the game.
So checking in now. Looks like on the floor we have Smith. I want to say that is Madeline Maloney. I'll know as soon as Clegg takes this free throw, and it is Madeline Maloney, the 5'7" freshman guard. She is checked in for the Cardinals.
All the way on the far side there on the free throw line.
Clegg hits the first.
And I think we have seen the last of the starters for tonight and a lot of the regulars.
Crawford will check out. Clegg knocks down the second.
Again, Londonderry, great defensive effort.
Yeah.
You know, especially in that first half. But you need points.
Catherine Marshall getting into the game here for Londonderry. Lynch will take it into the paint.
Right.
Thought she got hacked,
Oh,
didn't.
she did. I heard the contact from up here.
So
they are letting them play for the most part.
yeah, I would say that is the case, especially on that one.
Yeah.
Baseline drive there. Good help by Bowen, as if Furlong was able to keep it, would have had an uncontested layup. Bowen comes the other way. Finds Smith, back to Bowen. Over to Maloney. Maloney. And firing from the outside is Smith.
Deceptive. You thought it was in because the net flinched.
Because the net flinched.
Right.
Crossover dribble there.
Approaching 3 minutes left in the game.
Marshall got the ball off to Furlong. Furlong tried to get something going into the paint to Marshall. Couldn't get it to go. Back the other way comes Bowen. Bowen will direct traffic from well beyond the three-point arc. Lynch finds Maloney. Maloney now gets it back to Lynch.
Wide open.
Nice dribble drive by Daly. Found Bowen. Bowen knocks down a three.
Wide open.
53-24, 2:32 to go in this one. Oh, and a blocking call there as Ashley Schmidt was met by 3 Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Looks like that one's going to go against Lynch. That's her third foul. Can't take them with you, Tom, so. Schmidt will knock down the first. Ashley has 3 points, or excuse me, 2 points thus far this evening.
More reserves coming in for the Cardinals.
That is Charlotte Sullivan, a senior. The good fortune to speak with her.
She's the lone senior.
The lone senior.
Exactly.
Dara Ocheng with the rebound there.
So Cheng is a player that they expect to get a lot more out of next year.
I would agree. She's very aggressive on the boards, does a nice job, and might even see her a little bit on Sunday.
Yep, because of her height and her length.
That ball deflected out of bounds. Cardinals will keep possession.
As Guertin will try to fight fire with fire.
Sullivan now working top of the key. Gets it over to Lynch. They'll rotate through. Maloney will reverse it to Daly. Daly trying to force it in to a Cheng. A kicking call is made, so the Cardinals will keep possession as Crawford will check back in for Ashley Schmidt, who gets a nice round of applause from the Londonderry faithful who have been allowed to travel here.
Yep, it's been visiting teams. Well, visiting teams, but both teams each having a set of tickets for their fans.
Nicely done. And
traveled, but got away with it.
Separated on either side as Maloney will miss the three-pointer. Daly rebound went up, couldn't get it to go. Back the other way come the Lancers. Crossover dribble there.
Stepped on the line. Back to that play by Sullivan. She's a senior. Doesn't play a whole lot. And that's as much of an unselfish play with that pass as I have seen, because you'd think, it's my, I may not play on Sunday. Who knows?
Right.
This could be my last game. I want to score a couple points in the semifinal and say I did it. But nope, she gave it right up.
I think it is important, too, to say, and I know it wasn't done purposely, but to get a lot of kids experience on this floor heading into Sunday.
I think it was done purposely. I think he wanted to get as many in as he could.
So it was a good game of checkers.
Yes, it was.
Chang goes down on the floor. She was battling McGurn for the ball. And good that it was a hard hit, so good that neither young lady came away hurt
It'll
on
be
that.
Spassky versus Fisher on Sunday.
Coaching mashup there. And
that's the first up fake I've seen all year. It hadn't been called for a travel.
Maloney drove the lane, got fouled on her way to the hoop. She'll go to the line for a pair. She'll back iron the first. 53-25. 28-point advantage for the Cardinals.
First game was 66 to 30 something in the Bedford game?
80 something, I think.
No, I'm talking about the Bedford game.
Oh, yeah. Similar score.
Yeah.
They clamped down defensively in the second half.
What a high dribble. And another turnover.
Coming out of the scrum with it.
But Guertin cut down on the turnovers in the second half.
That was the difference.
Made a lot of difference. Oh!
Daly.
Just as I say it, right?
Pass gets intercepted and battling for the ball there. And
arrow goes
a jump
blue.
ball and a good call by
Arrow
the
is
far
blue.
side official. Londonderry will get possession. So here come the Lancers. 28 seconds to go here in this one. Nice drive to the hoop there, and in and out. Couldn't get it to go. Cleaned up by McGurn, or rather by Morris. Aaron Morris in now for Guertin. She got the ball off to Maloney, and it looks like Cardinals just kind of hold it out here as
they will.
Daly does the honors. So this is going to do it for the second semifinal. Your final score here from Sanborn High School. Bishop Guertin 54, Londonderry 25, and the matchup that everybody wanted and talked about is just a few days away, Tom King. Bedford
Should be a good one.
and Guertin. It'll be a good one. And we'll see if we get anybody here from Coach Craig to come do a little post-game interview. Our scorers, our leading scorers, we'll go over it with you. Murray in the first quarter, 3, 4, 5, 7, 18 points total for Olivia Murray in that one. It looked like Stack had 11 to lead the victors. On the other side of things, Olivia Chow had 7 points. And Shannon Ball had 8 to lead the Lancers. It appears that we are going to get great Malls of Fire. Molly Smith over here to have a conversation with us. And excited to talk with Molly. Molly, how are you? Good, thank you. You could take that headset right there if you'd like. Can you hear me all right, Molly? All right, good stuff. All right, most important thing we do tonight, Molly, is look in that camera right there and say hi to your grandparents who happen to be watching you tonight on Nashua ETV and the highlight guy. Great Malls of Fire here. And Molly, congratulations. First of all, you're advancing the championship game against Bedford High School. Your initial thoughts going into that one on Sunday?
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I think we'll do well.
And talk to us a little bit, Molly. I want to talk about tonight's game, but talk to us a little bit about that first game you played them. Feels like almost a year ago that you guys played Bedford High School. You were down by 21 points during that game. You made a monstrous comeback to get the victory. Do you think the game's going to be like that? What do you envision this game being like?
I think it will be very competitive, but I think it won't be the same because we will be going into the game with a different mindset this time.
Very well, very good. Very good answer. I like that answer. So here's what we do. We call this a deck of cards, okay? Get the play on words, deck of cards. What cards? Okay, good. So we're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and then we're going to have a little fun at the end of it and ask you like some fast questions that might not have anything to do with basketball, okay? So here we go. First question number 1. Molly, what is your role on this team?
I think I bring a lot of energy to our team, and I think a big role with energy.
Okay, that's good. No, and you could see it out there. One of the things we talked about at the beginning of this game was it looked like you guys were a little bit caught in quicksand trying to get your playoff feet under you, a new gym, new facility. Was that the message at halftime, Molly?
I think that none of us have played in a Final Four game because of COVID last year, so this was all new to all of us, and everybody, I think, was a little bit nervous coming into the game.
I hear that. Molly, if you had to pick somebody on your team that you view as an unsung hero other than yourself, and I know you would probably pick everybody because everybody has a role, but who would you think at first thought would be your unsung hero on your own team? And tell me why.
I think Megan Stack is a very good player for our team because she's a very good leader and scorer, and she's very inclusive of everybody on our team. Yeah,
I think that's a great answer. She does a little bit of everything and does it in a way that sometimes you don't realize it till you look at the score sheet or the rebound sheet after the game, the assist sheet, and how she led in so many categories. I agree with you. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? The first thing that comes to mind when I say these things. All right, you ready? The Bishop Guertin coaching staff.
Very good, very attentive, and very involving of our whole team.
Okay. Your favorite food?
Chicken.
Chicken. We have chicken in my house every night. Yeah, we're chicken people too. A talent that you have that others might not know that you have.
No idea.
Okay. Modesty. There you go. All right. Okay. Bedford High School.
Enemy.
There you have it. So we have a line drawn in the sand, folks. We will be here Sunday. Want to thank Great Malls of Fire, Molly Smith. Molly, give another wave to your grandparents there. Want to thank you for joining us here on Nashua ETV and the Highlight Guy. Molly will be here recording this one for tape delay. Want to wish you and the Lady Cardinals the best of luck. Go get them on Sunday, all right?
Thank you.
Molly Smith, congratulations. She's heading to the state finals. Will you be watching? We hope so. Thank you, Molly. Well, here's what we know. We know that on Sunday, it's going to be a clash of the Titans. It's going to be an undefeated Bishop Guertin team playing against the Bedford High School team whose only loss of the season came against these Lady Cardinals. And they lost it in a way that you could never imagine. Down 21 points, BG came storming back and stole a victory at Bedford High School way back when. It's a new season, though, and these two teams are going to give you a great show on Sunday. I want to thank everybody for watching us here on Nashua ETV and the Highlight Guy. This has been a pleasure for me to call the action for you. And we hope to see you on Sunday, everybody. So until that time, take care and be well.